So let's just settle into our meditation posture before we start this Vajrasattva meditation in the context of the four opponent powers. So if you are sitting on a chair with your feet down on the ground, make sure they're in a parallel position, so legs not crossed. And then your lower leg and your upper leg are at right angles to each other. And if they're hanging down a bit, you can put a little cushion underneath your feet. And the same thing with your, just check your pelvic bowl is, or your whole pelvic area is upright, so your sacrum isn't slumped back. And you can also straighten your pelvis by putting a little, again, a cushion underneath your coccyx. And you'll notice as you do that, the whole spine starts to fall into place. So legs, if your legs aren't down in a nice, comfortable, cross-legged position, hands in the meditation mudra, the right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. So let's just imagine we have running from the base of the spine all the way up through to the crown of the head and beyond. You can imagine your spine is made of this pearls of a string of pearls of light, white, translucent, blissful light. And somebody is at the crown of your head very gently lengthening you. So let's just get some air in between our vertebrae. As we walk around in the day, we tend to kind of everything just gets squashed. So we want to think about expansion. So head slightly tipped forward. If your chin is up and your head is thrust backwards, it will create agitation in the mind. If your head is too far forward, it will create dullness in the mind. So you just want to be somewhere in the middle. So your mind is alert but relaxed. Eyes are down, focusing in a place about 2 inches ahead of you. If they were open, you can have your eyes open or closed, but at our level, I think it's a bit too distracting. So if you do start to get sleepy, you can open your eyes just a crack. Let some light in. Tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth and the jaw relaxed. So just go to the crown of the head and just relax the scalp there, and the forehead, and the eyebrows. And relax the muscles at the back of the eye, your cheeks, your mouth, and your jaw again. Relax your ears, and your temples. And then just go to the back of the head and relax the scalp at the back of the head. And then check your neck. Relax your neck, your shoulders. And just get a sense of whether there are any tight spots in your back and try and release them. You can breathe into those areas. And go to the neck and just relax the front of the neck, the throat, and the chest, and the belly, your arms, hands, fingers, and the legs, and the feet, and the toes. So let's just bring the mind to the breath. Just breathing in, and as you breathe in, notice the sensation of cool air as it flows over the outside of the nostrils. And then as you breathe out, the air is slightly warmer. And just bring the mind to the breath as we reflect on our day. We're doing this Vajrasattva meditation to purify our negative karma, pull out any seeds we may have planted today in the past, so they don't ripen as suffering in the future, so we can reduce the amount of obstacles we have to deal with, the negativities around us, so we can keep moving easily towards our path to enlightenment, so we can be a benefit to others. So just bring the mind to the breath. If you have any, you'll probably have a lot of thoughts. Just notice them rising, falling. Try not to follow your thoughts or make up a story. Just allow the thoughts to be there. Try not to judge your thoughts. And the thoughts, the mind can't stop running. It's like your mind is a river of mental moments, so don't try and stop that. Just allow it to be there. If you hear any sounds outside or in your room, try not to have the mind go off and investigate. Just allow the sounds to be there. It's part of your mandala. So now we think, just remind ourselves, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this is basically a psychological process, what we're doing this evening. So we're trying to create positivity with our mind. And we're purifying our mind, our negative karma, using the 4 opponent powers, the Vajrasattva in the context of the 4 opponent powers. So the first of these is the power of regret. So we sincerely regret from the depths of our heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and all the past lives. So there may be something that's niggling away at you, something in the back of your mind, or something that's creating some discomfort in your mind that you might like to bring to the forefront of your mind, so that you would like to regret. So think of specific actions of your body or speech, and then just generally negative actions that you have sort of engaged in. And so we know that the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And given that we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, after having harmed others, we ourselves are going to experience suffering in the future. And because we're already finding the discomfort that we do experience a little bit difficult, some experience more than others, we don't really want to invite any more. So therefore, the logic is to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen into suffering. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows. So if you have bodhisattva vows, pratamoksha vows, tantric vows, and I have my nun's vows. So if you feel that any of your vows have been degenerated or broken, just sincerely regret from the depths of your heart. And Lama Zopa Rinpoche says this goes a long way towards purifying anyway, just having a sincere regret. And remember, it's not guilt, it's a different. So also we regret anger, attachment, and all the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And we think, I'm sick of this suffering, so who can I turn to? Who can help me? So here we come to the second of the 4 opponent powers, the power of reliance. So the first, this has got 2 little sections, refuge and compassion. So the first of these is we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha Vajrasattva. And we see him like he's our doctor. And he has the methods that we can use to purify ourselves. So we're not asking Guru Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're asking for his methods to heal ourselves. So we're relying upon the methods. So you visualize Guru Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can imagine, if you have a lama or a teacher, a guru, a trusted mentor, that this is the mind of that person in this form, emanating in this form for your benefit. So you can imagine above the crown of your head, about 2 inches above the crown of your head, is a Guru Vajrasattva. And he's made of this brilliant, blissful, radiant white light, translucent light. It's a very dynamic, not sort of like one or two dimensional. He's sitting in a cross-legged position on a lotus. So the lotus is actually a little bit above your head. So you try and get a sense of this lotus and then Guru Vajrasattva on top. He's got this radiant, beautiful face. And he has these lotus-like eyes, peaceful and full of love and compassion for you. And he has no judgment towards you about anything with regards to anything that you've done, just completely accepts you for who you are and loves you unconditionally. He has this sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. And his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a Vajra representing the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. So now I just say a refuge prayer to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So just this last little section, in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, in this case, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us. So we try to develop compassion for them. So I think particularly of maybe a person or a sentient being you've harmed recently or in the past, and try and develop compassion for them. And then remember those who have harmed you. And we specifically try to develop compassion for them because the harm they've caused us, they are going to receive suffering in the future because of that. So therefore we would have compassion for them. So now we think we do this practice for all sentient beings, so I must purify for their sake. So here we come to the third of the four opponent powers, the power of the remedy. So this is the actual purification practice, the actual medicine. So first of all, we purify all the negativities of the body. So just imagine, visualize, Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends this powerful white nectar kind of quite strongly from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. So you can just imagine that it's just pouring into you and forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky black liquid, which pours out of you and disappears into space. So you don't pollute the environment and it doesn't come back and pollute you. It just disappears instantly. As we recite the mantra, visualize this. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dina mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mepiyata sawakama sutame Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira mebowa, sutokaya mebowa, supokaya mebowa, anarakta mebowa, sawasiti mebiyata sawakama sutame, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawasiti mempiyata sawakama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawasiti mempiyata sawakama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Sapokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Sapokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think that there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So next is the purification of our speech. And so again, Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And it again arcs around and enters your crown, again quite strongly, filling your entire body. And this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this negativity overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just as Lama Yeshe says, when you turn on the tap in the sink and fill a dirty glass, all the junk in the glass comes to the top and overflows. So you just imagine like that. So now all the gossip, the harsh speech and useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you. So we recite the mantra as you visualize this. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So now feel so happy that your speech is completely purified And just imagine that it's not possible to do anything other than be of benefit to others with your speech. So every time they hear the sweet sound of your voice, it will be of benefit to them. Just really amazing. So the next is the purification of the mind. And Guru Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, blissful, radiant light. And this arcs around and enters your crown chakra and fills your entire being. And just as Lama Yeshe says, when you walk into a room, and a dark room and switch on the light, that light instantly dispels the darkness. So the same thing here. Just as when the light hits your heart chakra, so you just imagine this light dispels the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness and anger, anxiety, all this darkness, depression and resentment, jealousy, bitterness and neediness. Said that already. All instantly dispelled, not one atom left. So recite the mantra as you visualize this. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. So again, just feel completely delighted that your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, they're gone. And so I think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and compassion and bliss. So the next is this: we purify the subtle imprints of the negativity of body, speech, and mind. So this time, imagine Guru Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. Or if you wish, you can visualize the three previous visualizations of body, speech, and mind. And if that's a little bit too busy, you can just visualize light and nectar coming from Guru Vajrasattva's heart. And again, fills you completely, and it eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy and removes all the completely gone. as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sabasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supakaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Now just feel you're completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So the fourth of the four opponent powers is the power of resolve. And this is a very crucial step, this determination to not harm again. And without this determination, we're going to continue to follow the same old patterns, fall into the same old habits. So this is a determination, this aspiration not to harm again is a beacon that guides us. So just think maybe if there's something you would like to work on, whether it's your speech or accidentally stepping on ants or something, just give yourself a timeline of restraint. So you think maybe from the next 5 minutes, I'm not going to do blah, 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 blah. And instead I will do da, 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 da. And give yourself something that is doable, something that you're not going to break like a New Year's Eve resolution. So a short period of time, and then we can increase it over time. So this determination to not do again, this is what gives us the strength to change. So to conclude, Guru Vajrasattva, just imagine he's delighted with us. So wanting to merge with your mind melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. So you just think my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE calls this union oneness. So now, as Lama Zopa Rinpoche recommends, you meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, so let's just place our mind there for a while, for a little moment. So thinking of all phenomena as being empty, they don't exist from their own side. We can think of things as being dependent upon other things, things as dependent arisings. They're not fixed or inherent. Things don't just happen out of nowhere. There's always a cause or a condition. We can also think maybe looking at things a little bit differently. So perhaps the way we perceive things aren't necessarily the way they actually exist or that they actually are. So now we dedicate this merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification, to all living beings. And so we think, may all the virtuous karma that I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings as quickly as possible. So Mary, as usual, I'm 1 or 2 minutes over, so let's just go directly to the dedication prayers. Sorry, the long life prayers. For His Holiness Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Lamas of Rinpoche, you uphold the subdues moral way, who serves as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honouring the 3 jewels, savour of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursul, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off spaces, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Gershi Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students towards wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Now you can all go to bed with a happy mind. Sleep well.
Thank you. Thank you, Venerable.